Let me show you another very strange dish. That is to say, it looks strange to our culture, and it's really just a good excuse for eating garlic. I want to make a garlic dip for deep-fried squid. But the garlic dip is called scorthalia, and it's made in this way. Someone's going to call and say he didn't say scorthalia properly at all. That's all right. I have 10 slices of white bread, and I've taken the crust off of them and cut them up into cubes. Into the bowl now, I'm going to add a whole cup of good olive oil. Isn't this wild? And then I'm going to add a half cup of white vinegar. You don't need wine vinegar. Please don't use wine vinegar. You don't need that at all. Plain white vinegar. All right, half a cup of olive oil, and then I'm going to add an entire head of garlic. And by a head of garlic, I don't mean a little poop-out piece. I mean this whole works. I want you to crush this down and peel it. And you can use a gadget if you like. This one is a kick. It's called a garlic machine. And it works well. You see, you can put the entire head in here, or you can just leave this thing in the refrigerator. You watch it, it'll start coming out. Now, you see, this is put out by Rowoco, a Rowoco company, and they can get you one of these. It's a marvelous thing. Just tell some gourmet shop you want one. The only problem is, see, over against this one, or my old Susie, you see, I really think my Susie is much more fun to use because this rascal is murder to clean. Oh, it's just awful to clean. But anyhow, you have the entire head of garlic now crushed into the bowl, and we're going to let this sit for an hour, a whole hour, so that the bread can absorb the vinegar, which was half a cup, and the olive oil, which was 1 cup, and the 10 slices of crustless white, you know, the terrible white bread. That's the one we're using as a kind of filler, you see, good excuse for eating garlic. And after the hour's up, there, it's all out now. After the hour's up, I'm going to put this in a mixing bowl on my Mix Master and whip it. And I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice, and just whip it to death, and then about 3 tablespoons of water, and I will come up with something, the consistency. Let me check this out here. Oh, it's perfect. It's just perfect. I suppose you can do this by hand, because in the old days, you know, your great-grandmother didn't use a machine. For heaven's sake, she had a big mortar and pestle, and it was marble, and she sat there and pounded on that thing. The old girl got up at about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning and began cooking for you. She baked bread. She made scorthalia. I think I've got it right now. Scorthalia. I think that's close. Anyhow, this is what I want, you see. Isn't that beautiful stuff? Scorthalia. Look at the texture. You see, it's almost like a very heavy cream, and it's bread and garlic and olive oil. I'm not going to waste that. I'm not going to waste that at all. Why bother? Perfect. The vinegar and the vinegar and the garlic are a perfect balance.